Hi, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to show you how to create a no-buy and DIY stationery advent calendar using stationery supplies you already have and materials you already have at home to wrap the gifts, package it up, and you can put it into a basket or a box that you already have. This is a great way to save money, be more sustainable, and encourage yourself or others to use the stationery that you already have. While I don't celebrate Christmas, I personally enjoy advent calendars for myself, and so I wanted to put something together where I wasn't spending a lot of money on an advent calendar that wasn't necessarily my style or aesthetic. I bought a couple that, I didn't feel like they were worth it, so I wanted to put together my own advent calendar as a way to encourage myself to use some of the supplies that I already have that I haven't used in a while. I gathered my supplies here in this basket, so there's a variety of stuff, including a notebook, and so let's go through all the supplies. So this first one is an Archer and Olive A5 notebook. I actually got it in the 2022 advent calendar, so I don't think they have the specific design or color, but it's your standard Archer and Olive A5 journal, dot grid, has a back pocket. I know I'm going to set up a couple journals for 2025, and so this one's likely going to be my work journal. Next up are a bunch of stickers that I've had for a long time. Some of these from Bobo Design Studio I purchased in, I think, 2021, and a couple of these are like from random grab bags or other stickers that I purchased throughout the years. A lot of these I think are from 2 years ago, and you can see some of them are half used. I just want to find a way to finish them up. I think a lot of these will actually go into that Archer and Olive journal. Next up, I have a bunch of stationery scrap paper that again I bought I think in 2022 or 2021 from Amazon. I'm not a big fan of buying supplies from Amazon in general, but sometimes it's just easier or I can find exactly what I was looking for. Next up, I have some washi tapes. You'll see they're all different sizes because I've used some of them for other things, these are a few that I don't really use in my journal for decoration. So I want to try using it up and just challenge myself to get out of using like the same 3 washi tapes that I use. I'll try to link what I can below. I think a lot of this stuff is sold out. Either they were like from sales, like these Archer and Olive watercolor sets. I think they were cleaning out their inventory or something, and so I just bought these on a big sale. I still haven't used them. I bought them earlier this year because I really wanted a watercolor. It was on my vision board this year, but I still have time. Next up are these colored pencils my cousin got for me when she was in Italy. They're actually really nice. I swatched the colors in a short that you can find. I haven't used colored pencils in a long time, so that'll be like a nice challenge. Next up, I have these Crayola double-ended markers, I guess. I don't know the actual name. I'll try to find it. Just some random markers my sister had. I took them from her. So you'll see one end has like the chisel point and then the other one has like the more fine point, like a standard marker. I really love all the colors in this set. I just haven't used it in a while, so I want to bring them back because I feel like I rely too heavily on my Tombow markers. Next up are the Zebra midliner pens. These are also dual-ended. There's a bold side, so again it has like a chisel tip, and then the other one is like the fine tip. They're not like my favorite colors, so I'm gonna try to challenge myself to use these as well. Next up are these markers, these really thin markers. I don't know the name off the top of my head. Again, it was another marker set my sister had from a while ago. They're really like fine tip. I've used them like a long time ago in 2019. And here I have the Archer and Olive acrylograph pens. A few of these I bought individually, and then I bought I think the Amanda Reach Lee collab. So you'll see it just has a 0.7mm tip. And then I have a couple gel pens that I've been meaning to use for a while. They're all different brands and stuff. So like a silver, a purpley one, this like copper rose gold one. Then I have my Tombow watercolor pen. It's a dual brush pen, so I can use these with all the Tombow markers that I have. So it has like the felt tip and then the fine tip. I haven't used it in a long time either, so I want to start to use those things again. And then next up are my actual supplies for setting up this advent calendar. I wanted to make sure I was using stuff I already have or things that I've acquired along the way. Because I'm not like the greatest person at lettering, I decided to print out the labels on label paper that I already had, some random ones from Staples, and then I just downloaded the template and printed it on. And then I have these like holiday themed washi tapes that again, from the 2022 Art and Olive Advent Calendar. And then I had these string lights that I had for a while. That'd be something really easy to decorate this basket that I have that I got from Home Goods. It came in a set of 4, and this was like the perfect size, I think, for this Advent calendar. So you can see I can stack things pretty easily, and like all the materials actually fit in here. And then probably the biggest thing is the actual wrapping paper. This is all like craft brown wrapping paper from packages that I've been receiving from various orders. I ended up getting a lot of it, I think, from a couple packages, and I just decided to save it because like pretty uniform. I could reuse it. I could even use it in my journal as scrapbooking paper. So I didn't have to buy wrapping paper or, you know, like any material basically. It already just came to me from other orders and things that I would have probably recycled anyway. So it was a nice way to like reuse something. I went ahead with the labels and went in and cut them out. This is actually a clear label, so I'm not printing on white. When I peel it off, it's clear backing. I've used these, I think, in my April 2024 bullet journal as well. I have some that have a white opaque background. Again, these are actually like, I think, mailing labels, address labels that I've had around the house. So I would rather use stuff that I already have than buying things specifically for my journal or this project. So I'm going and wrap my first item, which is the A&O notebook. And I also feel like I haven't wrapped it in a while or wrapped things. So I'm not gonna lie, some of my wrapping is pretty rough and I kind of start to remember how to wrap things like halfway through. But yeah, these are kind of rough and not great. Like if I was actually wrapping this for someone else, I would make sure it was more even and not put a billion pieces of tape. But this was for me and this is for my video, so I was okay with it looking very imperfect. Also, just to note, again, washi tape may not be the best tape material to wrap things with because it's not that sticky. It's not, you know, it doesn't have as strong of an adhesive as like regular Scotch tape, masking tape, whatever. So just be aware of that if you decide to use it. And then I stuck on my label. I decided to make this the last item. And again, I know it kind of ruins it because I know what's in each of the options. Originally I was gonna have my sister label them all, but just in the interest of time and getting this video up, I just decided to do it myself. But I think I actually kind of forgot what some of the things are in what order, so it'll still be somewhat of a surprise. Then I went in and started wrapping the little watercolor boxes. And again, because I'm using washi tape, I don't really feel bad about, you know, like actually taping it onto the box because it'll come off really easily. It won't leave any like sticky adhesive residue on the box. So I'm not really ruining anything. I also found this like surprisingly relaxing to do. I was just watching some bullet journal videos and different DIY videos while I was doing this. Yeah, it was like a nice calming activity. I really wanted to put something together that, you know, doesn't cost much or anything, whether it's a way to encourage yourself, you know, like a little treat for yourself, or maybe you want to do like a stationery swap with a friend or give away like stationery that you don't really use. Like, I don't feel like gifts have to be like super expensive, and like personally, like if someone made something for me, I would find that way more like personal, so that someone spent the time to do this for me and like curated this gift for me of like things that I would use. So yeah, I think it's nice. And also I feel like, especially around this time of year, like, you know, everyone's like, this is on sale and this is what you should buy and these are all the gift guides. And yes, I did do some Black Friday shopping this year, but just mostly for stuff that I'd been waiting to purchase, or, you know, like refilling things. Again, I don't celebrate Christmas, so I don't have anyone to exchange gifts with in that sense, like, because I don't celebrate it. So I kind of bypass, I think, some of this overconsumption, which is kind of nice because, like, I don't feel like pressure to like buy gifts for like a million people and things like that. I try to do a calculation of how much this would be if I bought all of these items individually, and it definitely totaled to a few $100s. But using things that I've already had, like I bought a lot of these things like 2 or 3 years ago, it's pretty cheap because I didn't have to spend extra. And so yeah, you'll see, like, as I'm starting to wrap, like the colored pencils, a nice box is much easier to wrap than a stack of washi tapes that are all different sizes. So what I decided to do so the washi tapes wouldn't like roll away was to tape them together, just so it's easier to wrap one roll, giant roll. And I kind of want to make these look like, you know, like the Christmas crackers or like a candy. So it's kind of like bundled up, and then the ends are twisted. So that was my idea here. It didn't work out perfectly just because I think I used paper that was a little too small, but I just wanted to share it here, at least for inspiration, that you can do a much better version than what I did. And like I would probably put like ribbon or some string on the ends instead of tape to tie it up. I didn't have any on hand, and I didn't want to purchase something specifically for this video again, because that was a challenge that I set for myself, was using stuff I have, and it came out okay. Again, if I was making for someone else, I'd make it much more neater. And I was also on a time crunch when I was filming these videos. You'll see halfway through, like, my sweatshirt has changed because I had to film on a different day. And next up for these markers, while I did choose a few colors that I really wanted to use, the challenge that I set for myself is like, I want to use not necessarily the whole set, but I can utilize the whole set of acrylograph pens or like those fine tip markers that I have, but I just didn't want to wrap like 15 markers. You could also make this like 24 days. I did 12 because that was the amount of stuff that I found that I could use in my challenge, but you can make this more, you can make this less. It doesn't have to be for Christmas or like winter holidays. You could adjust this for anything, maybe someone's birthday or whatever else that you celebrate. Next up, I was wrapping some of the flat items like stickers, and you'll see how ugly my first envelope turned out because I didn't think to make it a square. I actually had to go watch a YouTube video to make an envelope again because I forgot, and that's why you ended up with this weird ugly trapezoid and tape everywhere. So I'm kind of glad I had like a test one. I could have fixed it, but I was also just getting lazy. So for the next one, I made sure I cut it into a proper square and made it into an envelope. Now gathering my supplies, I'm just going to start putting stickers randomly on them. Like, I don't really have a plan for which stationery item will go for which day, so that kind of helps randomize it a little bit for me. I wrapped most of the items off camera just so this wouldn't be like a 50-minute long video of me wrapping stuff. So I'm adding the different labels here, trimming them if my size was a little off, because I didn't really think about the size of each of my items, but that's totally fine. And also, if like you don't have enough stationery supplies or stationery items that you want to add, you can use other things. You can use like small trinkets that you have, candy. I've seen people put in like cozy items like tea bags when they're doing like little gift exchanges. So you can totally personalize this and modify this to fit your needs. Like this doesn't even have to be a stationery calendar. It could be whatever you want. Putting my basket here, I needed to dust it because it's been in my cabinet for a while. So I used that duster thing there. And then also took a paper towel and just wiped it. And then I brought up my string lights and then I hooked it into one of the handles and then just wrapped it around. And then once I ran out of the string, then just stuck it back in, and then you can see it looks really cute, turned on, super easy to set it up. And then I just started adding my items, and like if you don't have a basket or a container or whatever you want to use, you can use like any cardboard box that you have. I've seen people use like different large stationery boxes or like any packaging, whatever you have on hand. I just want to use this basket since I knew I could reuse it again. And like you don't have to add string lights, you could add whatever you have on hand, you know, decorate it with stickers, ribbons, whatever you want. And that's pretty much it. You have this cute little unique no-buy DIY stationery advent calendar that, you know, is a little fun treat for yourself or for someone that you care about, like a friend, family member. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Is this something you would try or gift someone else? Stationery videos your vibe. Be sure to subscribe for more. I will definitely be setting up my 2025 journals soon and those videos will start coming out. Very excited to share those. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.